Diwali signifies the victory of good over bad, knowledge over ignorance, light over dark. For me, it also means the victory of self belief and happiness over self limiting thoughts and self sabotage. If you have grown in a family which has been always critical of you, which has scrutinized you for every little thing that you have done, most probably you also are highly critical of yourself, and whatever you do, whether it's happiness, productivity, or anything, your core happiness depends on validation from others. So in today's video we will see how to be happy alone without using any other outside crutch. So without further ado, let's begin. It's your life, so it's your responsibility to get happy, to keep yourself in a mental state that provokes and gives you only happiness and not unhappiness. Okay, and there's one thing that I would like to share, that if you have started physics at any point, or even if you have not started, you might be aware of something called as inertia. Inertia is nothing but staying in the same place. Now, with respect to today's topic, what it means is whenever you are in a low state of mood or unhappiness or any kind of troublesome mental state, probability of staying in that particular state increases. So it's like when you try to make an effort, it's like moving against gravity. Whatever actions you are doing, that is going against gravity. So I want you to keep in mind and realize that this is perfectly normal, but it's a temporary phenomena, and I'm sure you'll be on the other side. Most often than not, whenever we try to achieve something or whenever we get something, the purpose is to get validation from others rather than your own intrinsic values. So first thing that you can do is check whether whatever you are doing, is it because of any kind of societal influence or parental influence or any kind of relationship or friends influence? If that is so, then it's time to evaluate and try to understand what is it that you can do to make sure that in this process, now that you have started it, you get validation from your own self rather than the results. When I took admission for PhD, my world revolved around getting validation for whatever results I get. And I realized this pretty late that you cannot make anyone happy. Certain people have this very different notion that if you criticize a person, if you speak only about negative things, then the negative things will improve and the results you will get. But I don't subscribe to that kind of thinking. This even research has shown, and there is a field called positive psychology, and we will discuss this later, where the reinforcement or the actions that a person does is usually backed by positive motivation than negative motivation. Even if somebody says good to you on your face, behind the back if they say anything bad, that news usually reaches you, because you know for yourself whatever you are doing is correct and it's independent of any kind of external influences. This one line I read when there is any kind of self-help literature or anything, you have to get out of your comfort zone. But let me tell you one thing, it's okay to stay in your comfort zone. In fact, whenever you are secure, it propels you more towards happiness. And this I have noticed from my personal experiences as well as whatever observations that I've made on people. Security in your mindset does not mean that you will not achieve things. It's a very different interpretation that we have. Sometimes you see a quiet person, content person, and you feel that they don't want to achieve anything, which may not be true at all. Achievement, exploration, and lessons, these are all over here. The outer demeanor may or may not reflect all that. When you stay in your comfort zone, does not mean that you don't try different things, that you don't go and explore the world, that you don't learn your lessons. Whatever achievement has to be there, that has to come from a place of security and self-belief rather than insecurity. the stress of keeping up with the world, keeping up with others, following trends and peer pressure, all these things impact so much that we subconsciously make comparisons. Even if you are randomly scrolling on social media, at your back end, this person has such a lifestyle, even I want it. It does not end over there. I feel bad because I don't have it. There is a protocol that was conducted by a happiness research institute which showed that people who stayed off Facebook or any kind of social media had enriching experiences. They had less of anxiety. On Mondays, usually I do a social detox where I don't check social media at all. That time of the week is so peaceful. I can think peacefully and conduct research and whatever it is peacefully. Say suppose you are preparing for an exam or preparing for something, some kind of event. You decide to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning. Your alarm rings but you snooze it, you wake up at 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. What do you do after that? Do you study? Do you have self-doubt? What do you do? Are you able to carry on with your plan? That is where perfectionism comes in. All or nothing attitude has got me only trouble. This word perfectionism is considered as a positive word, but it's highly negative in my opinion because it promotes all or nothing attitude. If you say suppose wake up at 7 o'clock instead of 4 o'clock, you still have full day ahead of you and you should be able to use it. But then you will beat yourself up, you will say things to yourself and lower your self-esteem even further, which will not just get you failure, which also will promote self-destruction in the long run. I'm not against setting the bar high. It's best to take it slow, start with baby steps and get your self-esteem and self-belief to work in your favor. If your aim, say suppose, is getting 90 percentile in your exam, if you have always struggled to even pass, then that goal will just put you off your track and it will get you in a very bad mental state. Then your target should be 50% and then incrementally do that. Even the checklist that we use, you can do a task to some extent and then still it will be done. It won't come under not done. One suggestion could be, instead of having a tick mark, have a progress bar. So progress bars show you exactly how much percentage is done. So it validates your efforts. Setting deadline for a particular project is another thing that can work in your favor, because if it is a deadline, then you have to submit it. There is no way that you can say that I have to proofread or I have to do something else, I have to add more bells and whistles to it. You cannot do it. I have always experienced this and I want you to tell me if you also do this. Whenever I'm anxious, I tend to buy a lot of things, some kind of gadget or something else or anything, or I tend to eat food which adds more to my weight. If you are doing too much of shopping, if there is too much of stuff around you, I want you to take a step back, sit and realize whether it is out of a particular need or it's out of your anxiety. Even these sales and offers that go around, so if you don't buy within that particular time frame, the deal is gone. That is when your anxiety levels increase. And one thing that you can do is uninstall any kind of shopping apps from your phone. You can always buy stuff by using your browser. Secondly, you can have one particular day, for me it is Sunday, where you do shopping for whatever things. So if you want to shop for anything, you will mark it in your notes or you will add it to your cart, but checkout you will do after 7 days. When you are unhappy, it's very easy to avoid people. We are not getting into the debate of introvert versus extrovert. Here what we are saying is, as I have discussed earlier, whatever keeps you unhappy, you tend to do it repeatedly because you are in that state of inertia. We all have those days when we want to pull covers over our heads and refuse to get out, but realizing that doing this repeatedly may actually put you on a downward spiral. I have one of my friends who always keeps crying about not having a support, not having anyone for help or any kind of stuff. One time you say it, 2 times you say it, but At the end of the day, acceptance is the key. Okay, you don't have a support. Now that you have to do it all by yourself, how can you delegate work, outsource accordingly, even if it's paid? Because if you don't have somebody to help you with that, you will have to outsource it and use money for that. Taking responsibility of whatever situation you have, however bad it is the first step towards any kind of mental health condition. If you don't do this, not only will you feel helpless, you will be refusing yourself of happiness that you actually deserve of. Give yourself permission to heal, to enjoy life and to be happy. Most of the times it is not external situations, it's only us that we hold ourselves back from enjoying life, from going out for things because of whatever reason. This person may say something, this person may say. You take responsibility of your life. Your relatives, your parents today will be there, tomorrow would be not there. The only person that will remain with yourself is you. Waiting for perfect time, as we discussed earlier, waiting for that perfect condition, and in general waiting for happiness. When this happens, I will do this. Whenever we think of time as a linear, this should happen first, then only this will come, then only this will come. Nothing is more damaging than waiting for happiness, waiting for somebody else to make you happy, and we are not going to do that. Now this I don't have to tell you, there is plenty of research and there are plenty of influencers. You know for yourself that moving your body is good, but are you doing it? Whether you are experiencing frustration or even if you are in normal mental state, to keep that going, workout and nutrition remains an integral part. Workout any time of the day, whether it's morning, evening or anything. My preferred time is in the morning because I try to finish, because otherwise in the evening I don't get time. But whatever works, whether it's yoga or Pilates or HIIT or anything. What are the things that are you doing daily to uplift your mind? Affirmations and mirror work. I have done dedicated videos for both of this and I want you to have a look. Check several other resources that are available on the internet. The online age has opened a plethora of information. This includes courses, websites, YouTube, Instagram, everything. There are several coaches out there which are completely free. And one of the courses is a course on positive psychology. It's by some of the most distinguished personalities in the field. It's free, it's on Coursera, you can audit it. You can go in for consultations, counselings, whether online, offline, to understand your situation specifically and in a better manner. I was listening to one of the conversations from Gary Vee. I'll leave his channel link below. So he said, most of the people who are beyond their 60 years of age don't regret the fact that they have done mistakes. They regret the fact about things they have not done. So it's time to take care of your mental health. Today is Monday as I am filming this and today is Mental Health Awareness Day. I don't think there could be any other day or better than today. The triggers that you have, you may feel that it's a trigger and somebody else is triggering you. But the fact that you are getting triggered could be linked to something that has happened to your past, where something or somewhere some hurt is there, and somebody tries to poke it little bit, it gets to the surface. I hope you have found today's video useful and I wish you a very happy Diwali. Stay tuned till the next video.